Well, we got to start off with.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Launch.
Always ready to go. Are you a seasick kind of guy?
No, I'm good on the water. I'm good.
You had no problems.
I'm not saying I had no problem. I'm saying that I'm good on the water. There's tricks that you can learn. And look, you know, if it got really bad, I could just sit down and close my eyes because Rich Phillips didn't move around a lot. Right. It was the guys operating all the other stuff. There was one day where we lost them all, just one after the other.
Everybody got seasick that particular day.
All the crew that was inside got sick.
Is it true? I heard the focus guy actually kind of lost his lunch on you.
It sprays out a little bit. You know,
that would be true.
But you know, it didn't make that little thing smell anything worse. I mean, it was a horrible smelling.
It was
place.
Awful smelling to begin with.
It was bad. It was bad.
It was kind of cramped quarters.
It was, yeah. And with everybody else in there, yeah.
Yeah. What would you say was your toughest day? I mean, when I was sitting there watching the movie, I was like, well, first of all, how much was actually shot in a water tank and how much was actually shot out at sea?
The only thing that was in a tank was in the moments where Rich Phillips tries to escape and swim away. That was the only thing that was in a tank. Everything else was on the, some brand of the open sea. You get used to it. It's physically taxing, but the environment itself, I mean, that's where it takes place. So we're working in the actual space aids everything that you do. It helps on the behavior and the procedure and the performances are all in real time and in real space.
Emotionally, the mental stress that you went through, how would you describe that?
Well, Richard Phillips is a very accomplished merchant mariner. He is the captain of a ship, and you have to be very competent in order to get there. His head was constantly filled with almost like this algorithmic plan of what might happen and what he was trying to make happen. And as soon as an event took place, that altered the algorithm in his head, and he had to honestly just keep thinking and thinking and thinking and planning and planning and planning. I can't explain it any more than that, is that he had both knowledge that he shared and knowledge that he kept to himself. And he was dealing it out like a very extraordinary game of solitaire.
Did you watch the real thing go down? Did you see it on TV?
I was aware of it. I was aware of it the way everybody else was, but I didn't pay specific attention to it.
Just the news.
Yeah, I said, oh, that sounds terrible. Oh, wow, that was fast. That's all that I remember.
He must have been completely honored the fact that you're playing him in real life.
Yeah, they all want other guys.
No, come on. If you got to choose somebody to play you in real life.
But look, at the end of the day, they all want, they all want the dream boats.
Mr. Modesty,
they get stuck with
stop
me.
It, Mr. Modesty.
I always apologize. Sorry, you're stuck with me.
Congratulations on being a granddad again. You got one that's a few months old.
There you go. That was a big event of the year.
Yeah.
Number 2.
How is it being grandpa? You said it actually came along at what you felt like was the right time. What did you mean by that?
Perfect time, I must say. My son Colin, he's right in the perfect childbearing age. And what's astounding to me is the patience that dad and mom have with those 2 little girls. As I honestly say, well, where do you get this from? This is a superhuman experience. I get to do the thing of come in and have a great time for a few hours, or maybe overnight on occasion. But hey, it's like almost like parenthood fantasy camp. You have all the fun without any of the long nights.
What do they call you?
Papu.
Papu, how cute. Where'd that come from?
That's Greek. It is the Yaya is the grandma, and the Papu. Every Yaya is a Greek grandma, and every Papu is a Greek granddad.
How cute is that? It's so funny because I was sitting there and I was reading an article where they'd done an interview with you, and I was looking at all the comments afterwards. And I was like, I think Tom Hanks is the only guy where you get, just anybody can say anything on the internet, where everything is positive. Like, just people love you.
Dig a little deeper. Go down to that 3rd or 4th page.
I am not kidding,
I'm sure
though.
there might be
no,
something
they
down
were
there.
all completely positive. And I thought, well, what pressure that must put on you a little bit. A, that you live up to this, but B, that everybody talks about, immediately the movie comes out, and obviously you're that great of an actor.
Well, it's wonderful to be in a good movie, and Paul is, I was hoping to work with Paul and be as good as like 9 of the movies that I've seen that he's done. The great pleasure is when you feel like it worked out. By and large, this racket is, and you spend an awful lot of time dodging bullets. Well, we walked through that minefield and lived to see another day. There's no substitute, and nothing supplants the feeling that you have where when you finally can watch it in some way and say, hey, that's even better than we were hoping for. That's the only thing that matters.